got the drawing here. So my process for this is I have a straight on drawing. I don't really have a scaled drawing turn. On this roof, I'm just going to, I need to make the hips, I need commons to make the hips, so that's what I'm doing. I'm laying this out, and I basically just roughly scaled this into something that I could get 2 radius points. I have fairly equal here, and then I have fairly equal here. So I then plotted a couple of radius points, and I can swing it all on a sheet of plywood. So you can just barely see my line there. I'll set the camera up so you can see it in a little bit, but all right, I just need it's 2 different radiuses, and I think I'm gonna double check the width that I have near the midpoint. And then I think I just need to I could probably fair that spot in between those 2 diverging arcs there. And then I will cut 2 of these out. All right, I finally got what I wanted. I had to do a little bit of tuning. I hit my point there, but I was kind of a little narrow in here, so I worked it out, but by then it was too messy going up through there. The other trouble I had was I was hoping to get a little bit of a straight spot near the top, but the overall height of the roof is lower, so the spire that's been chosen to top it out is a continuing taper, so I have to taper all the way to the end. So I swung a 3rd radius. This is just a combination of 3 different radius points of different lengths. And what I did to get a clean line was just shift everything over 3 inches. So now I have a disappearing radius at the top, and the total width at the top is 3 inches. So the half section is 1.5 inches there, roughly. So I'm going to cut that out and then cut a second one and then fair them together. And that'll help make the form to strike the arc on the hip. That's the plan. Let me grab my jigsaw. All right, little by little here for the mock-up, I have the common set, and I'm gonna intersect a blank piece here for the hip to make that pattern. I just gotta cut it out of that, cut a blank out of that, and affix it here with the staple gun, and I got a little inner piece here that'll hold that in position, and then I can scribe that. All right, this is some lashed up witchcraft here, but if you watch the other Cupola video a year ago or so, maybe more, it's kind of how I arrived at the hip scribe. I have a piece of 1/2 by 1 rectangular tubing, and I put a point on that. I could take that apart and pencil that in, but I think what I'm going to do is put some masking tape over it in the morning so I can scratch a real fine line with the new point, and then I'll cut it up. All right, I could have brought that out a little bit more, but I can live with that. I could do it on the half pieces, so I'll cut those next. And I still got to trim this off at the ultimate height. It's a start. I gotta get a hold of I gotta go get the spire because I need to make an attachment for it in the top there. I'll probably clean this up a little bit. I'll definitely clean up here, and I probably won't take this any further today. I may sand those up. I'll check the fit again, make sure everything's good, and I'll tune everything up, and then I'll probably paint those pieces too. I'm gonna paint everything inside something dark like a brown or a black or something, but I'll definitely prime it again first. Once those are cleaned up and fit, so I can paint them and then assemble them, all finished. I'm happy with that. I think that'll work. And then let's talk about the covering of it. It's kind of a weird little deal. Part of the design was that there was not to be standing seams except at the hip, so it is going to be one sheet. So the copper is pretty much just going to fall onto the roof and be tied together at all the edges. There will be standing seams at the corner, and then some sort of lap and fastening at the bottom. But I will bend plywood around this. But I think what I'm going to do is this may build up till there'll be some sort of purlin member in there, like 1x2 or something to catch the plywood. This will have to be fair. These need to be 45 here because these are hips. So the point of the roof is actually the center of this, wherever that lays. So there'll be some shortening of each side or fairing to get that to go in there. But I might have to do that before I paint. One way or the other, we'll get it worked out. Anyway, that's good. Happy with that. It's a bunch of work, but hard part's over. The rest is just kind of ABC from here. Cutting these now, so I have a little solid backing at the top because I have to put in an insert for the spire. So I'll cut 2 more of those, and then they'll shoot in after everything's painted, but I just want to get them fit right now. All right, I'm trying to trust the process here. I had this quart mixed up this morning. I picked a color that was close to weathered copper. I don't remember exactly what it was. And the white is an oil-based primer, dries pretty quick. This is the inside, and you won't see it, but I'm gonna let it dry before I put any more on where it shows, because to me it looks like purple. I know you can't see it, but it is not brown. Maybe it'll darken as it dries, but I'm struggling to trust it right now. Be a great place to stop if that's the color it dries. I mean, it does show it's quite a bit darker. We'll see what happens. I didn't want to paint anymore anyway. So this is 45, but we're tipping up at an angle, so it's going to be less. I can sketch it, but I'm guessing a little over 40 is what it's going to be. And I need a slight bevel, so I'll just start with one side, and then I can trim the other side. You know? So I can staple it here. It'll staple directly to this, which gives me a little bit of extra backing for the plywood and for the drip edge that comes around the lock at the bottom. That's good. We'll grab the stapler. This will be less yet. It looks like about 30, 35 maybe. We'll find out. That's 35 and 22 again. I'm just cutting a pattern so I can block out 4 pieces on a flat sheet and get the back of it primed. And then I have something to go do this afternoon or this morning anyway. Yep. I'm coming. Make sure we're good. Don't feed the chickens. The ravens. So this is not the right one. I'm gonna get one with a bigger bigger ball on it. It'll sit right down on top of this. I'll sleeve this, and then when it's time, I'll cap it, and then we'll just schmutz that into it at the end. happy with that. That's good. I'll put a little cap on the top, and it's a good stopping point for now. I can set it aside. Got another project to work on there, and then one behind it if I run out of things to do on that one. But I can order some copper now and bend some flashings around the bottom and get the other spire ordered, and we'll just keep going on it as time allows. But I'm happy with that. That came out pretty clean. It is kind of cold today, so there might be a bubble or two here and there. There will be a slip sheet in between this and the copper. And if I have to, I can put a heat gun on this. But a day in the sun might just be everything it needs. But that way there's no staples in any of this. It's all just stuck with this stuff. This is that APOC repair tape. It is sticky. I can't imagine putting it on a hot day. It's pretty expensive, but it works good for this base flashing, and then use the ice and water for the field. And there's not too much buildup that way. I was trying to avoid that by cutting back on the hips, just so I don't lose the edge when I put the copper on.